Any tips on the concept of blocking? I've not really played any fighting games exclusively and want to change that with Strive, but sometimes I just get thrown around by Zado or something because I don't know what to block etc. I think the easiest way to deal with blocking... Actually, I might make this a YouTube video. You're a genius for that one. I might make this a YouTube video. Let's take Kai for example, right? I think Kai is a good example on how to, like, you know, get around the whole blocking concept, because Kai doesn't have any, like, real highs. So, the best tip I can give anybody for blocking in this game is pattern recognition. So, not exclusively from the character you're playing against, but more like the player. So what does the player like to do? For me, as an example, when I play Giovanna, usually what I go for is this, right? This is like if you play in any floor except like Celestial, and it's like a really, really good Giovanna, like a top player Giovanna, this is what's gonna happen. And they're gonna do this, block stun, and then they're gonna choose one of the three options, which is this, this, or this. Right? You don't need to know the names of that, you just need to know how they look like. That's all you gotta do. You just need to know how they fucking look like. Right? So if you know how these moves look like, that's what you can work with. If you are somebody who knows this is a pattern, then you can see what you can do with it. Every character in this game has windows, either during their block string or after their main block string is done, that you can interrupt. So, for example, for Giovanna, these moves here are plus. Both of these here are plus, but they can be interrupted. So what you gotta be wary of is like the main block string here that people are gonna try to go for. And once you've realized that, you can act accordingly. For example, for Zado, Zado has like a bunch of his summons. But the problem is with all of his summons, except his frog that goes up, all of them are lows. So you can just block low until he either 5Hs or tries to go for the frog, and then you only have to block high for a bit. So it's just pattern recognition. Most Zados like to do like their full combo, then into either a 5H, a comment grab, or they try to pressure you with their 2P. Because that moves -2. Because that's safe. This is like the one thing you gotta watch out for. It's pattern recognition, pretty much. Literally every character ever has like a lot of lows. Like a lot of characters have like mids and lows. Not a lot of characters in this game have like a high other than like 5D. Like Giovanna has a high here, an extra high added to it, but it's reactable. Like 5D is also reactable. Both of them are highs. So the highs are reactable. So your main course when blocking should always be to block low for the most part. If somebody comes to you in the air and they do like an aerial attack, you can, you know, logical solution like he said, you can 6P, you can use your anti-air, whatever your anti-air is with your character. You know, like for those things you have to hold high. Like for like an aerial attack, which is again, like you can see when somebody goes in the air obviously. Like you can see when somebody's attacking in the air. Or when they do 5D. Like usually blocking low is your best friend. Blocking low in like any fighting game is your best friend for the most part, except for Tekken. If you play DBFZ and you block low, not all the characters have highs you have to watch out for. Like, that's the base concept. The only other concept you have to be aware of is people dash grabbing you afterwards. If you have a feeling somebody's gonna go for a dash grab, you can just grab back, and it's gonna be an attack situation. Like here, for example, let's say after block, you're gonna throw, right? We both trade, because we're both using the move. So if you know somebody's gonna go for it, you can just reset the whole situation. And then you can punish him for it. Because you think they're either gonna mash, they're gonna do an attack, yada yada yada. So the base concept of blocking is you have to watch out for pattern recognition, as I said. Okay, so this was a basic block string, right? Just something basic. Now he's in that situation. I'm gonna play this out. And now let's see what happens. All I have to do here is block low. Like, literally, I just have to wait for his turn to be over. And then I can punish him. This is like a bad example, because this was not like the most optimal block string. But just grasping the concept is worth it. So this is the first block string, right? What he's gonna do. After, let's say, instead of stun dip right here, after this, let's say he starts grabbing. So let's record this again. Let's say, like, he does this and then runs up to you and grabs. Or that he just does one and then runs up and grabs. Right? We're just gonna have this recorded real quick. Like, obviously, this isn't the best example, but it's good enough to teach it to you. It's good enough to teach you. Like, you don't know what happens here. And then finally he goes for the grab. Like, this was like a super basic block stun. Like, this was an awful block stun. Like, this was an awful fucking block string right there, right? But you just gotta watch out for what he's doing. Like, you can't punish him here, because he's pushing himself too far off. So you gotta wait. And then you can punish him again if you think he's gonna go forward. So, have them do their main block stun. Then wait for what's gonna happen next. Then punish accordingly. There are certain people who are just gonna spam like some random ass move in between that's laggy as shit. Once you realize that you can punish them and you're good to go. Like, of course there's deeper layers to this. Like, there's like massive layers to this where it's like, okay, what if he dashes back? What if he grabs? What if he like uses Roman cancel? But what you need to know is just blocking low is your best friend. Not a lot of characters have highs. If they jump or if they do 5D or their main high button, which you should know which their main high button is. For mates, they're up. For mates, the horizontal, it's the vertical dolphin. For mates, the vertical dolphin. For Kai, it's his 5D because that's all he got. For Giovanna, it's this move. Like, once you know what their highs are, then like all you gotta look out for is the high to grab and when the block stun's done. Like on a basic set level, all you gotta watch out for is that. Like, that's literally it. Like, when is it my turn? Alright, I hope this helped. If there's any more questions, let me know. Alright, let's go back to playing the game.